So here we have Eye of a Storm, one of my favorite maps. So Eye of a Storm is a very simple layout, but it's probably, in my opinion, one of the most interesting maps due to how it works and how it looks. Not how it looks, more how you can utilize the map more than any other map. This is due to a void that is here and here and here. So, quickly going through the basis, Mage Tower and Draenei Ruins will always be Alliance capped. For the Horde, we will always have Belf and Fel Reaver. This is a constant that does not change in the beginning of a match. Unless you're against cheese comps, but I do not want to talk about cheese comps because cheese comps sucks, in my opinion. Especially with Speaker. But anyways, what will often happen is for a rogue in this situation, the map will be split like this. Oh, wrong way around. Map will be split like this because as I talked about earlier in the Rafi Basin, Demon Hunters are more susceptible due to their, like, they can only hold for 30 seconds if they play correctly, even less often because it's very hard to play it optimally. So they will lose the base very often, or that's what I've experienced. So you always match a rogue against Demon Hunter and rogue against Druid in this situation if you're a Horde. If you're Alliance, you want to try and switch it. It's very hard to switch it because we can see you switch. You can't see if Horde switches, no one can see it besides the Demon Hunter, and he has to use his Demon side. Your Horde can see this happening because the Demon Hunter doesn't have stealth. So all you want to do on this map is have one backup at all time. In this situation, I'd use the Mage due to his mobility to be able to go to the Demon Hunter and help him out if need be. That's the first thing you gotta notice if you're Alliance. As a Horde, you have to notice the opportunity to cap a Mage Tower. And you have to be able to send your Rogue there and have your Mage, or in this situation I'd send my Paladin, to defend Fel Reaver. I'm sending the Paladin due to him having Divine Shield and him being able to survive the Rogue, his Sap, his Blinds, with Divine Shield and Trinket. So that's the first thing you have to notice in these situations. The second thing you have to notice is the Alliance team comp, or the Alliance team has to notice this potential of their team comp. They have two big ways of massacring the Horde team. The first way is with Warlock Portal plus Disc. I have 2 Disc, I can't move the second priest, so ignore that one. If you make a Warlock Portal from, I'm just going to make it a yellow, from here to here, ish, just outside of a wall. There's a small wall part, you don't want to hit a wall. But if you do that, and the priest enters through and bops, or makes this, I can't remember what it's called, but the ping and push people away, you can throw some enemies off the edge of a map, and they are dead. This is the reason why I actually love this map, because this can happen. If this happens, you often win the team fight just due to them losing players for free. And even if you don't do it, and you don't successfully do it, you still put the fear of it happening in their minds, constantly. And that fear might make misplay and set up an opportunity for you to utilize. Another opportunity you have, and this one you can make sure of happening, is with Death Knight and Priest comp. The Death Knight grips one in, and the Priest bops off, and he's dead. This will assure your kill every time you can bop someone off, which is quite often. So these are your comps, and how you're going to essentially play them out, just base. So earlier, I talked about there being a flag. Here in the middle, oops, wrong one. Here in the middle, you have a flag. This flag will net you, depending on how many bases you have, more and more points. And you want to generally cap it when you have 2 points, because that's the most optimal time to cap it. When you go into a team fight, this whole thing, the whole match is more or less going to be about this flag and how you're able to outplay your enemy defense-wise. So let's say you are a Sork team like the red team is. You're very afraid of this happening, and you do not actually want to fight this map. You do not want to fight mid part due to them having the Death Knight, Priest, Warlock comp, because you will get bopped off. And this happened to us in this map so many fucking times. We got bopped off after bop off, and it sucks. So what you want to do essentially as a Horde team is you want to send survivors mid. You want to have your Holy Paladin, for example, your Shaman, or Warrior's probably better, actually, my bad. warrior, your demon hunter, and 2 or maybe even 3 healers. But a lot of people are going to use, just gonna take a paladin away. The last few people you're going to use to send to another place and try and force the enemy to send some of their players somewhere else, so you can force this. This is a holy paladin or red, it doesn't really matter. Both of them bring a lot of healing to the table, and that's the most important. You might have to send a holy depending on your cooldowns and so on and so forth, but sending a red puts more kill pressure. While doing this, you also want to try and send your rogue over here to mind game with the enemy, because you will not win this team fight most likely. You will lose it just due to being bopped off constantly and not being able to play the matchup. Last but not least, the enemy team does have a guardian druid. He can stealth and he can be very annoying. What the enemy team might do, or horde team might do in this situation, is actually send their guardian druid mid and just swipe. He can thrash for days. He can't get CC'd, he can't done anything against him. You bop him, he wild charges back. So that's the thing you have to watch out for. But if they do that, you have an opportunity to send a few defenders back here to drain the runes and have your rogue ninja cap instead. But this map is one of the more complicated maps on how you play it out, and you really have to look at the map state. You can't be a base down. If you're a base down, you have to cap that base back, because you can't win with one base. Even if you get every single flag, you will still lose if you don't have 2 bases. So you need 2 bases, and you need to try and cap the flag. When you get to around 1200 points, you want to try and cap the last flag and hold it on your tank until the timer goes. As soon as the timer hits, around when you hit around 1350, 1360 points, you just cap it and you win the match. This way you're sure that you can't get screwed over by losing the flag and them getting it. Before that, you're not allowed to play defensively. It's very, very dangerous to play defensively. If you play defensively, hold a flag, the flag stacks, they keep going up, and you're susceptible to one shot, them getting the flag, running away with the flag, and capping at their own base. And you do not want that to happen. That's the worst case scenario for it to happen. As I said earlier, there are a lot of strategies you can do with this map, and it depends on the team you are and against. What's important of this map more than any other map is looking at what the enemy team has. Because the enemy team comp decides what's gonna happen and how you're gonna play it out. Do we have a bop comp? Do we not have a boop comp, whatever you call it, like a throw you off a cliff comp? If you have a throw you off a cliff comp, you might not want to fight in mid. If you all have a throw off a cliff fight, you want to fight in mid, but you have to make sure there's someone ready to defend. As I said, if you have a fighting comp, you might not want to fight mid if you're against a throw you off a cliff comp. But if you are a fighting comp and you're against another fighting comp, you're just going to circuit until whoever is better wins. If you get falling behind, you have to do risky plays, sending your guardian druid or rogue to ninja cap. One thing that I do want to talk about that's very cheesy that you can do, and that's on Mage Tower, is a small blue. I'm actually going to try and draw it here. So if you have, this is the tower, right? And there's a small exit. And this is for all people who are going to ninja cap. There's a small exit here. This is the way out of a Mage Tower and into a Mage Tower. The flag is right. It's going to make it black. It's right here. This is the flag, okay? What you can do as a rogue is if you stand right here, I'm going to make a rogue, or any class actually, you can stand right here where they can't see you, and you might actually be able to ninja cap it without them noticing it. And I've seen this happen to my team, to me, and to so many people. Over and over again. 2 defenders, 3 defenders, they don't notice the sneaky rogue standing on these sides and capping just from the line of sight. So that's one thing you can do in Mage Tower that's very sneaky. On Belf Tower, if you want to defend it, a thing you can do as a Paladin, and as other classes, I believe Death Knights might also be able to do it, not as often, but you put a Consecration. I'm just going to make another over here, I'm just going to reuse this. Because Belf Tower only has a very small entrance and exit. I'm just going to draw it up. So this is the entrance and exit. If you're a Paladin, and you're defending right now, especially for Retribution Paladins, you can put, on the corner here, you can put down your Consecration, and it'll hit the full door. And they'll not be able to sap you from outside. You have to go through it and hit the Consecration. So every few seconds, whenever Consecration is about to go down, you walk around, you put down your Consecration, you walk back away. And you keep line of sighting. Means if they try and cap, you can just walk. If a rogue tries to cap the flag, just gonna draw a flag again. That's a flag. We have a nasty rogue. He's gonna try and cap. First of all, you want to wait his smoke bomb out because he's definitely gonna smoke bomb you to try and make you get out. His smoke bomb does not last a full duration. You just stand here and you keep pressing your judgment wherever you have it. I have my judgment on my 2, so I keep pressing 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, or Shift R depending on what spell I want to use. You keep pressing your range spell until the smoke bomb runs out and you're able to hit him. And you just walk back in and you just wait it out. Because he can blind you then. If he blinds you while you're here, his capping stops and you can Divine Shield or you can use your Trinket. I prefer if you use your Trinket first because you can Divine Shield his duel later if need be. You can Trinket and call for help, be like, oh shit, I need help. So someone else can come and support you. And help so you don't lose a base, right? So now you have 2 people and you can't lose a base against 2v1. So this is the important things you can do on these 2 bases specifically. Draining Runes and Fel Reaver don't have the same opportunities, but we do have some very nice opportunities to defend on. On the Fel Reaver, for some reason, I'm not sure if this is intentional, but you can shoot through the Fel Reaver itself. Sometimes, not always. So if you stand behind the Fel Reaver, let's say this Fel Reaver, as a Druid and his other classes, you can just stand behind here, and you can actually hit people for some reason who are on the flag. This does not work every time. I have no clue why it doesn't work every time, but sometimes it just works, and you're able to hit them. You can also use the terrain around you. There's a block here. There's a broken catapult over here. And I believe there's also one thing right here that you can use to stand behind and hit the enemy if they're trying to cap. On Drained Runes, there are a lot of places you can hide. I believe the thing looks kind of like this. There's a pillar here, and this big circle here. And the flag is right about here. That's kind of how it looks like, right? What you can do is position yourself as someone who can't stealth behind these objectives. So if the enemy saps you or blinds you, they have to first walk into you, sap you, walk around, and begin capping. Or they have to blind you, walk around, begin capping. By this time, you should be able to walk out and hit them, if need be. But this is more of a good positioning. Do not stand close to a flag. If you stand too close to a flag, then sap you, cap you, and they'll get it. Or blind you, cap in, and they'll get it. So try and stand away from the flag and keep away until support helps. There's no reason to risk it by doing a 1v1. We don't need you to do flashy plays. This is all about you being patient and waiting for help. It's just like Twin Peaks. It's all about waiting for help. This does have the added benefit of there being the flag. Whoever caps the flag most ends up winning, funnily enough. Keeping the flag at the right times is also very important. That's the last mechanic I want to talk about. When you cap a flag, you don't cap it instantly. Very seldom you cap it instantly. You want to bring the flag back to your tank or whoever is the safest person to bring it to. It's often going to be the tank. And you tell them, don't cap yet. Just don't cap yet. We want control of mid. As soon as you get control of the center, then you cap it. And then you push. You want to try and push the enemy out. The enemy needs to be pushed all the way out, and you want to push into them. Make sure they can't get into you. And you keep one person, I'm going to keep a Druid here. The rest of your team is just going to push the enemy out. Just stand there and be really annoying and just fill up space. That's your priority. It's just to fill up space and push the enemy out. For the Horde, it's this way you want to go. Oh, that's not an arrow. For Horde, you want to push that way. For Alliance, you want to push that way, funnily enough. Or wherever your bases are. Or spawn points. So you want to push the enemy away from the middle so you can free cap, go back, capture it again, and rinse and repeat. That's how essentially you play this map when you finally have control of mid. These are some small tactics for different places. If you have any questions, do ask me in the comments. I'll be trying to answering them. I'll try to answer them as much as possible as I did a Reddit post. This is more of a shorter format. As I said, there are a lot of tactics and a lot of strategies I can't go into, but it'll take an hour. And I don't want to bore people to death either. I try to make this as entertaining and as informative as possible at the same time. If you want to know more, do hit me up on Twitch as well and ask away. I try to stream often, and I do like answering questions and teaching people about the game. But thank you very much. Do like and subscribe and follow me on Twitch. Bye.